Welcome to another Imperator Rome playthrough. This one is Carthage. I queried the YouTube community as to what they were interested in, and there are many more Imperator Rome fans than Panzer Corps, so we're going to play Carthage and see if we can use Entice Governor to take much of Magna Graecia from Rome. If you can get Lucania, well, let's start the game first. If you can get Lucania, the province of, it theoretically borders Tarentum, Apulia, and Campania. The only way to get real clean borders there, I think, is to just let Rome do what it's going to do, which would be attack this and take the whole thing over. I think much the same can be said of Brutia, Croton, etc. And I think we'll run the Syracuse missions. But so far as filing claims up here and attacking into it, I just ran a test game, and you can take this over with running Sicilian warfare first. You could take this if you really wanted to. There are other things in Africa that probably are a better idea. Integrating vassals, Musulamia, attacking Massilia, etc. So I'd maybe just leave this be and let the Roman do what the Roman's going to do, which essentially I think would be to conquer all of that. And once he does, we can use the Entice Governor ability to take province. This Brutium will be one Entice, because theoretically we'll have this and we'll be adjacent. Lucania will be another Entice. And then the third Entice, boom, we should be able to grab that. That's assuming that the threshold loyalty and lack thereof for the governor and provinces are met, which hopefully they will be, but who knows really. I'm going to take care of the opening moves, such as social equity, and then rearranging all of my governors. I think there's essentially quite a few governors out here. Oh, I see. There are quite a few governors out in this area here that are essentially both Democrats as well as not great family people. I'm going to replace all of them and then get the most capable person in the job for offices and research. We need to allocate our innovations. I believe we're going to want couple, and then we're going to take some aggressive expansion at some point, and then we'll trigger this one. Are there any? I think there's some religious. We want to get to formulatic worship, which is a ways down, but along those lines we can get 3% unintegrated culture group happiness, as well as a great temple. What we want, well, maybe we'll just leave that with 4 and then sit for now. Let's go ahead and open up this. We can take this immediately. Let's do that. We'll go for integrating our, let's see, we can't do it. We need a city. Let's start out with a bang here. We'll go for that and see about acquiring this land. We can sell the goods for trade. Speaking of trade, we can hit this commerce there. We're no longer importing whatnot. Let's see if we can switch out some trade routes and such. We're going to want to import some dates from our friends in Egypt to juice our commerce income. That leaves us with 1 left. We can build, have iron, probably make some use of that for our warring efforts, or we already have olives there, so that's good for us. Let's do that. We'll take iron from ourselves. I'm going to turn off the slave promotion on these grain territories in Carthago, as well as olives here, dyes, perhaps all of them really that aren't cities. Let's get these integrations rolling along. That is our capital territory, so we'll want to approve that. We'll take probably a bit of tyranny. Well, what of it, really? We can change our law over to the Assembly of Soldiers. Or corruption. That's a fair question there, really. If you take a lot of territory yourself, let's see. one claim and trigger a bunch as a republic. Usually as a republic I like to take the assembly of soldiers, but we're sort of like off in the middle of nowhere here. And Iberia can be conquered. Like we have these seeds that we have already. Like say there's a province here, we could release this as a vassal. We can release Bastitania as a vassal, and then we can use it to conquer some territory, or we could take some territory ourselves and then release just a small portion of, say, like a given province. Say this territory, if we just took that, we could release it as a vassal and then have 3 vassals gobble up all this lot, and all we would have to do is provide the manpower, and then we could integrate it. So we wouldn't have to file a bunch of claims, we'd just have to do some integration and wait. So really, who else are we going to file claims on? I plan to entice governor against Rome and Magna Graecia. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, well, there's Cernasia, I suppose. But where are all of our 10-point claims going to be used? I don't see it really relative to my plans. So perhaps we are happy with our laws as they sit to 0.10 corruption. In fact, you could wrap your head around that I think there is a deity here. This one, for instance, monthly corruption 0.05, cost us a bit of stability, but now we're at the 0.15 corruption down, which is no slight amount, really, relative to giving all of our glorious office holders free hands. I was thinking of doing that and acquiring quite a bit of... Well, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. With Rome, you definitely want assembly of soldiers, but with Carthage, I don't think it's quite as relevant. Speaking of relevant, our navy is... These heavy-duty ships are not so much so we'll just delete them and perhaps replace them with cheaper versions. Cheaper, faster versions, I might add. I'm going to take the commerce income here, pop that omen. I'm going to take the reinforcement speed as well, order to retreat, and just wait for this mission to work its way through. I'm going to delete all the forts, essentially, that are not in the capital. I'm going to hire these mercs, get them moving in the right direction. I'm going to file a claim in Massilia here just because I can. It looks as though it's on now. We're at war with those guys. And I suspect strongly it should be an obliteration. The war goes exceptionally well. No hiccups, no problems. I'm going to assault this fort here. The siege fell. And that is all she wrote. I'm pretty sure we can annex the lot. Boom. I disbanded the levies and let the mercs go. Apparently, I think the next on the mission tree here would be to integrate the Musalami. We need to build a city here to do that. Let's see, we have 16 aggressive expansion. We'll want to get rid of some of that with defending liberty here. And then we'll proceed down this chart to unlock the theater. That leaves us with 1 innovation left. Syracuse is warring with this. Perhaps he allies with Rome, perhaps he doesn't, perhaps he conquers this area. Hopefully he does conquer it and does not ally with Rome, in which case we can use the Sicilian warfare to annex the entirety of this lot here without an exorbitant amount of claims, because the warfare will give us claims on all of Syracuse, and if Syracuse takes over that whole area, then we'll have claims on the lot. I'm going to improve this opinion here, and why not improve that as well? Just a bit of tyranny. And maybe we can improve you as well. Looks like our claim hit here. I wonder really if it would be a decent time to, rather than building a city, I wonder if we could get more income by attacking him. I think that's probably a better idea. Problem is our mercs are not quite feeling well as one might hope. And no time like the present, let's go ahead and hire this guy. We'll get him moving up towards this area. And I'll hire this merc here as well. And go pick him up with the fleet. I'll call up the Levy of Africa, head him over here as well. Get this ball rolling. I'll take the PI surely. At least I think I will. I will. I hired this other merc. He's a fairly competent man. It's 9. He has a supply train. We're going to pick him up and take over this area shortly. I'm going to file a claim here on Mauritania while the filing is good there as well. I figure why not, let's get this ball rolling immediately. And that should do it. We'll take 2 tyranny, good for us. The war is going quite well, as you might expect. We're going to catch this guy out, occupy that. We need to down this fort. Shouldn't be a problem. One glorious victory after the next. Let's see if we can assault this fort. We've done it. And that's all she wrote. Breakthrough. Boom. We've done that as well. This is going to be ugly. But not really all that bad. That is done. Let's get back over here to our capital. Having played this a test game through just now and done a few moments, hours or whatnot back, and done the Sicilian warfare first, let me say unequivocally, without any doubt whatsoever, that the African mission tree is by and away, far and away, the more optimal choice. I think we'll probably still be able to action this, and even if not, we can entice the governor away while we just sort of mull about and build and assimilate and convert and such. In order to continue this mission tree, we need a city in one of these provinces here. So if we look there, let's see, we can have one, I believe, here. And let's get that ball rolling as well. Alright, we have a bit of money in the bank. We're about even on tyranny. I'm going to take a look down here and see what has not as yet been improved, and then improve it. The opinion of our subjects. Egypt has been set back from Cernasia. I'm going to move through all, or check all these cities on the coast there, and maybe move some, what Punics can be moved into these various cities, so they can promote, like this guy has no business in the fields. These two as well. Let's maybe send one here as well. Our claim just hit here as well. We have a sufficient amount of AE, so we'll not worry. Let's see what goes on here. Nothing particularly pretty, but nothing really all that ugly either. Let's see, we could build a theater there. Why not do it? We'll build one here as we can't do it. We have 2 innovations. I'm going to take this open religion. We can build a temple if we like now as well, and maybe we'll take that as well. Let's drop a temple here. A theater, I mean. Our city has arrived. I believe that we can populate it and then begin the mission to turn the Musulamia into a client state. That should be actionable now. We can, we've done that. Let's do it. We can begin the integration of Achoala and Leptis Minor. The Musulamia mission just hit. Unfortunately, I can't improve their opinion as... Well, can we go here? We can't. Our Senate approval is tanked because I didn't pay the traditionalists 80 PI or whatnot to do some sort of objective they had. I never pay. Looks like we're going to be hunkered down here for a while. I'm going to build out essentially theaters, I believe, in various areas where they may be required. I think here we've already done that, yep. Let's see, we have a bit of a burn here out in the further aspects, so we'll build one there. I believe there is one. There's not one there quite as yet. 0.48, we need to get that. Utica has integrated. I'm going to break down and hit the assimilation policy for Africa here. The city-state here just integrated, so I believe it is a city. It is, and it is largely Punic and Canaanite as well. I'm going to move some pops in there for promotion. That's better. These ratios are clearly indicative that these slaves will promote quickly enough. Another integration. So there are 23 Punics there. I can move whoever from wherever that are non-Canaanite or Punic. Just sort of click the button and carry on. We can trigger this Wicked System Sisters mission. I have a mission here that wants me to build a city right here. I'll do it. We have a serious loyalty problem right here in Shigan. We need to build a theater at least. Leptis Minor has integrated. I'm going to move as many Canaanite Punics from the countryside as I can. Actually, there are others. Probably save some. And then get just underneath. I see, we can move another, say, 10 or let's see, 15, 13, 14, 13, and let's see, 13 of any random variety. So 1, 2, I don't think we have them, 3, 5, yep. I'm gonna build a temple here in Tinga. It's pretty far out there. Another integration. I think we need to declare war here in Mauritania. I'm gonna hire some mercs and get on with it. Our city has come online. I'm gonna populate it. There it is, it's actionable, let's do it. I'm going to get some tyranny for this war, but we'll not worry about it either. Did I need all those mercs? No, I didn't, but we're going to assault this fort, get this war over with really quick and get done. Let's assault that fort. Boom. That should do it. Yep. It's over. This is a serious problem in this province here. The loyalties are bleeding quick. We need to get stuff built. Theaters and temples, to be specific, in these 4 cities. As much as I don't like tyranny, we need to get this Tripolitania rolling along. We're going to take another 11. The smaller ones we can do without. There's no rush. We have a religious advance. I'm going to grab this right now while the getting is good. Our Senate approval is back in the black here, as it were. We can integrate the rest of these guys. I think the only one not integrating is Musalamia, as the 10 years has not passed and the opinion is low. I'm just checking these territories from time to time and see if I can move any pops from the countryside into the cities. I can. Emporia has integrated. I'm going to file a couple of claims here and maybe create a couple of vassals at some point and then integrate them, rinse, repeat. Continue to build out here. I'm going to grab a couple of buildings here. We can take the tale of 4 cities now, and I believe nothing else. We can take a build cost on our way to formulatic worship, so why not take it? 5% off is 5% off. I note our Roman friend is not really progressing down here as quickly as I might have imagined, but I'm assuming he will make it at some point. Our plans for Syracuse to take over the area. It looks like Syracuse lost the war here. It is now not really so actionable. We'll have to file claims or wait for the Roman to take it over and then entice governor away from him. This province dipped below 33, and now it's on its way to revolt. I'll just integrate it here. We can do something with that, surely. Took a bit of a break. It looks like we can have 4 mercenary armies at any given time. We have 0 aggressive expansion, very high Senate support, a reasonable amount of tyranny, etc. A couple of claims hit, one here and the other here. There's quite a bit of war score and such in here. This Turdetania is allied with Oritania. This whole the swath here can get some serious aggressive expansion, etc. But we happen to have Quarta here, which is a city, and we have some pops that we can give to that we can release, essentially. So, as I don't want to integrate these guys again, I'm going to move as many pops out of this territory, these 2 territories, to Tinga as I can, and then release it as a client state and let it suck up the aggressive expansion for this. And then we'll take this group ourselves and just suck up the aggressive expansion. What is that? Oritania, I see. It's not really going to be that much. I want to get this first, except that Oritania is allied. So if we do this war first, we can take those 2. That will leave Bastitania, this territory here, Mastia, and Denantia. Butchered Detania, which is something other than detente. Whatever the case is or is not, there is a singular province here in this Detania that can be annexed and then released as a client state. And then it will have 1 territory, and then it can annex a large swath here for no aggressive expansion. So that's the plan. I'm going to hire some mercs, get them in position. We'll take these 2 out, and then we'll action what I just described right there. So I moved all the pops that could be moved out of these 2 territories, and now if we check the province name here, Betia G, we can go here. Provinces, sort by that. There it is, and then we can release you as a client state, like so. So now our client should be, if we check it, a Canaanite Punic, and we'll, I see, we haven't taken formulatic worship yet. Well, and we won't for a while, and I want to get this done, so it's the client states inherit all of your technologies, so in a perfect world we would have wanted to have formulatic worship, but we're not going to have it anytime soon. Let's declare this war immediately. I have a fairly large stack right here. I'm going to concentrate my forces and try to do away with them. I'll take the tyranny and some PI here. I'm going to try to assault this fort. We'll see if it goes. We've done it. We'll take the stability, surely. This war is going pretty clean and quickly. I'm going to assault this fort, see what happens. We've done it. Let's assault this last fort. Boom, we've done it. That should make the entire lot actionable, essentially. So I'm going to transfer occupancy to our client state. Let's see how much this would have costed us in aggressive expansion. It would have cost 56, and I believe now it will cost nothing. Sometimes after you peace, these guys, for whatever reason, the province or some territories will annex directly to your primary nation, which would be Carthage. We'll see if it happens this time. I see. So we've taken something, obviously, as it's asking us. So what have we taken? Not much, whatever it was. It doesn't matter. Looks like we've inadvertently taken this territory here. We'll have that fort. There's nothing wrong with having that. In fact, it gets us a bit of aggressive expansion that we can burn down. The good news for this our client state is larger now, so we'd want to improve its opinion clearly. And maybe if it has a revolt, every now and again we could take the revolt territories off of its hands and annex it directly to us. And if we happen to have no or a lot of aggressive expansion, we essentially do it for free because it'll burn off, or if it's really high, we won't take any. So that's all good as well, even though these provenances here are going to be wrong culture and wrong religion. Maybe the revolt is good because we'll be able to annex it as it comes up piecemeal as opposed to all at once. There's not much of our levy here, but I don't see any reason why we shouldn't keep it up and almost immediately declare war on, in fact we will declare war immediately here right after we disband the levies that are not Africa. Okay, there it is. It looks good. We can lock this war in while the locking is good. All of our clients, etc., feudatories will participate, and it's on. The trick, so far as I am concerned, in the early game is not to take anything on that you're going to be running back and forth and doing this whack-a-mole duty. Like if we were to fight Rome right now, it would be always back and forth. He'd land here, we'd have to come deal with it, we'd land there, he'd retake it, we'd retake his. Who knows what would happen, I don't know. If you can keep it contained and the aggressive expansion low, and I think that's a winning formula. I don't see how that tribe even gets near this guy, so we're not worried. I have most of these mercs on reorganization detail. We'll get there someday. But this siege is going, the capital. Also, these barbs, they don't have navies. They're nowhere near anything that they could siege down, so there's no danger of them getting behind our lines. And nice tight war. It should end adequately. We've landed here, no rush. I'm gonna head up here, take this capital there. Siege just fell here. We need to stop this reoccupation effort. Going to assault this fort here. Tripolitania integrated. Build a couple of a temple and a theater here. And there it is. We've done it. We'll take all of it in-house here. See how many points we get. Not bad. We'll do it. Stand down all these levies and mercs and call it a day here. I'm going to destroy the forts and do some building or whatnot, shuffle some pops in between episodes. I hope to see you in the next one.